Painter. Two big trebles here, which he doesn't get. He's not really able to take advantage of Tabern's slack throwing at the treble. Painter could have been in control by now, but Tabern is fighting for his life here.
Yes, he is indeed, and Painter may well have half his mind on the next leg, and that's not always a wise thing to do. If he can polish it off this leg, why not? So, needs a big score. Tabern due a big finish. He's not had a big finish in this game, and having enjoyed several against Wes Newton in the previous round, is this the one?
89.
He'll be satisfied with that. 52 left. Fancies chances of pulling one back.
Well, maybe Painter will just have to settle for holding his throw to win the match. Tabern to keep his hopes alive. Double 16 he needs. Got to take it, and does! Now then, what a game it is! Kevin Painter will step forward here. If he holds his throw, he's a semi-finalist. But let's just make the point. There's a lot of pressure up there on the stage.
Yeah. Terrific, absolutely terrific. He's certainly not going to bottle it. He's focused fully. He's had his mind on this leg. When he won that leg, straight coming back from the break to set up a two-leg advantage, I'm sure he thought to himself, one more good leg with throw, and he'd have probably taken this situation at the beginning of the match.
60
only, but at least that means that he's hit ton effectively. So you got to think positive.
Yes, it's a good second dart from Tabern, but he needed a bigger score than that. Lovely second dart, but is it to no avail? What a start from Painter, a big score here, and surely he's on his way, and a fourth 180. The timing is immaculate.
Well, if you can ever have aggression in a darts match, you saw it there. That was aggressive, positive throwing from Painter. He forced every dart into the target there. He is purposeful. He is purpose personified right now. 1-2-1 for the match. Treble 15. Would have left double 8, but he's in a terrific position
89.
to set it up, Nige, and finish the match with his next visit.
Been a terrific game, hasn't it? Both players have gone toe-to-toe here, but it looks as though Tabern's time is about to run out as Kevin
60.
Painter steps forward for a place in the semi-finals of the Blue Square UK Open. Double 16 coming in.
Yeah, well, purposefulness again from Painter. Gosh, it's difficult, got to go over that first dart, but he does so! Brilliant stuff from Kevin Painter! Not the greatest of starts as the early advantage went to Tabern, but it was Painter who took control of this game, and he is in the semi-final of the Blue Square UK Open here in Bolton.
Yeah, terrific stuff from Kevin Painter. What a game it was. A word for Alan Tabern as well. Played his part in a very even contest. Painter just had the edge though, and the former world finalist is in the last four of the UK Open here at the Reebok Stadium in Bolton. A face of determination and a face of delight. The artist, Kevin Painter, is through to the last four. Punches the air with delight. And let's get some reaction now from our man on stage, Rod Studd.
Kevin, can I just interrupt your conversation with Alan there for a minute to congratulate you on being the first man through to the semi-finals. There was a leg there when it was 4-all, and both of you missed a lot of doubles in that leg, and you won it against the throw. Was that the crucial point of the match, do you think?
Yeah, I think it was. It was always going to be tight, me and Alan, very similar sort of players, if you like, score quite heavy. It was always going to be like whoever nicked the double first. Yeah, Alan's very disappointed there. Obviously, he knew that once he'd lost his throw, he was on an uphill task. So, really pleased, yeah.
It's 5 years since we were ranked up in the top 6 in the world and you reached the World Championship final. You're getting back to the Kevin Painter we knew from that kind of era.
Yeah, I suppose I am. You know, listen, I'm a great darts player. You know, I never really give myself too much credit as a player, and perhaps I should do. You know, I know I can play the game very nicely. It's getting up here and doing it, getting to the stage sort of, you know, finals and that's where I play proper darts. So, you know, I know the ability's there, it's just sort of getting it right, you know.
And this is the first time you've been to this stage of this tournament, beyond the quarter-finals now?
Yeah, semi-finals is the first time the UK Open, so very pleased with that. Previous was quarter-finals, lost to my old mate Steve Beaton there in the quarters about 4 years ago, so I'm really pleased to make the semi. A tough game with Alan, I knew it was going to be tough, so...
Good luck in the semis, Kevin, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Thanks,
Kevin. Smile on the face of Kevin Painter, why not? First man through to the semi-finals, a 10-8 victory over Alan Tabern. Up next, Colin Osborne made the semis 2 years ago, taking on Jamie Caven, who's never been in this stage of a televised major. Following that, probably the match of this afternoon session, Ronnie Baxter, first time in the quarterfinals for him, against a man who's made 5 major finals in his career, Terry Jenkins. And the West Yorkshire lorry driver, who's due to clock in at 4:15 tomorrow morning to do some deliveries, taking on the 14-time champion of the world, Phil the Power Taylor. Rod's here. You were pleased for Kevin Painter with the maturity he showed there?
Yeah, I mean, me and Kevin go back a long time. He was actually my first practice partner back in the late 80s. What I see in Kevin Painter today was a guy that didn't get frustrated, didn't get angry with himself. 9 times out of 10, why Kevin Painter loses is because he loses, he gets too hit up and that arm tightens up and he stands behind shaking his head. Didn't see that, stood behind Alan Tabern, big deep breaths through the nose, out the mouth, you know, getting the heart rate down, and he looked very, very comfortable.
Is it an advantage being the first man through to the semi-finals, given that it takes so much mentally out of you today?
Well, the only advantage it is you know exactly when you're going to go on that dartboard. All the other players can go on within a half hour of each other, and as it goes on, the last man, Phil and
Mark
Lawrence, sorry. You know, they don't know. They could go on an hour and a half after they're expected. So the preparation is harder. But for Kevin and Alan, they knew exactly the time they're going on stage.
Word about Alan Tabern, because he's had a good few days.
Yeah, he's had a good few days, and he's a player for the future, that's for sure. You know, he really does take the game very seriously now as a profession, and you know, he put in a good performance here. But if I had to identify where Kevin Painter won it, he hit more 140s and 180s than he did straight tons, and Alan Tabern didn't.
You picked Colin Osborne as one to watch over these few days. He's been to a semi-final before, taking on Jamie Caven. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think Colin's going to win this, although Jamie Caven's playing exceptionally well. He's coming off of beating Raymond Barnveld, and the confidence he's going to have in going on that big stage is going to be huge.
Jamie Caven, completely unknown territory for him. How do you think he's going to cope with the pressure of being on the main stage?
Do you know, I think he's just going to go up there and enjoy it. I think he's just pleased to be there. He is a great player and another one for the future. Won a tour event this year, and I see his face after he won that. I think he's going to go up there and just enjoy it, and he'll make a good account of himself.
He's a fascinating story. Blind in one eye, he's a diabetic, he's had all sorts of health problems, and to get to this stage of a major competition and do what he's done on the circuit is credit to him.
Do you know what? It's a huge amount of credit. You know, all the players, and I probably did in my day, you know, we bitch about things and we complain, and here's a guy that's had all that, and he just gets up, you never hear him complain, he just plays his darts. Got the highest, you know, admiration for him.
Who'll join Kevin Painter in the semi-finals of the UK Open?